Hi, it's MTK, and this is the Middleman's Perch Part 6. Just a moment ago, the Chennai Super Kings of the Indian Premier League in cricket, T20 cricket, which is limited overs cricket, 20 overs, meaning 120 balls, just lost a match to the Delhi Daredevils, who are in last place, the Delhi Daredevils are. And they were playing in Delhi and made some changes and used great spin bowling to beat Chennai, who were in second place in the tournament, and now face a really crazy situation because they play the last game of the tournament. That'll be this Sunday. And if they don't win that game, then they will not retain the second position, and they'll fall to the third or even possibly the fourth position. Now, the top four will play in the championship, and so they've clinched the postseason, if you will, the tournament championship, but it's critically different to be in the 1 or 2 position than it is to be in the 3 or 4 position. And the reason why is because in 2011, the Indian Premier League came up with a new way to do the postseason. Instead of having 2 semifinalists play in these 2 matches and then the finalists meet in the final, they do something different. The 1 and 2 teams play each other. The winner of that goes on. The loser of that goes on. 3 and 4 play each other. The loser of that is out. The winner of 3 and 4 playing each other, right, goes and plays the loser of 1 and 2 playing each other. So then the winner of that match, the winner between whoever lost this one and whoever wins the elimination match, they play each other, and the winner of that plays the team who won the first match between 1 and 2. So it's a more equitable way to give someone a better chance for coming in second place. And it is unusual, and there's really nothing like this, I think, in sport, except maybe in the World Cup where you have the, what they call the third place match. But this is different. You can play an extra match, still lose if you're in the 1 or 2 position, and make it to the final. Whereas in the 3 or 4 position, it's a pure elimination game. So this Sunday's match suddenly becomes incredibly important to the Chennai Super Kings. And this whole tournament, which is about 6 weeks long and ends next week in the final, these matches I'm talking about will take place next Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and then the final is the 27th, the following Sunday. And these matches I've been watching along with millions of people all over the world. And I've been watching them here in the United States on the internet live with people watching it at night and in the evening there in India with thousands and thousands of people. And the disconnect is a huge part of what I talk about when I'm talking about the Middleman's Perch. Here I am in India. Here I am in the United States. A perfect example of the constant feeling of tumult, of being of no one place and being cool with it, riding with people on different waves. I'm here in the States watching and enjoying these 6 weeks tournament in India with Indians. And then there'll be times when the World Series is on and I'll be in Japan. And I'll be crowding around with a bunch of people. It's 17 hours later or something, 15 hours later, and we're trying to watch the World Series. Or maybe I can remember being in Taiwan during the '91 NBA Finals when Jordan made the impossible move against the Lakers. And that feeling is unusual to me because, the sports is a cultural token by which I'm connected to people in different places. I can either be with them in that place, or I cannot be with them in that place, but we are all still in the family together. It doesn't matter whether I'm in India or not to be in the Whistlepodu army, the family of the Chennai Super Kings. It doesn't matter if I'm in the Bay Area or not to be a Giants fan, to have the Giants family. Now, sports is just one example of this kind of a thing. It applies to other things as well. But sports, I think, is interesting because the rules of sports are so different. It's very difficult for me to explain baseball to Indians. I think they're not. I mean, I'm sure they'd get it after a short amount of time. It's very difficult for me to explain cricket to Americans. They could get it, but they don't care to. So there's a kind of constant feeling of separation on my perch culturally that is beautifully manifest in the appreciation of sport. Now, one exciting thing is going to happen next week. One of these matches is taking place on Wednesday morning, the 23rd. It should be the second match of the playoffs, so it'll be the 3 versus 4 teams. I'm hoping that Chennai is not in that match and that we maintain the second position. However, it might be that we are in that match. And if we are, I would definitely be watching that match. But it's also the morning that I am driving down to Houston to watch the Giants play against the Astros, who won the World Championship last year. The Astros did. So the Giants only play in Texas nowadays every 2 years because the Astros joined the American League. So there's no longer a National League team in Texas, which makes no sense, by the way. But as a result, I can only see the Giants in Texas every 2 years. So here's a chance to see them in Houston. I've got to take it. So it's a day game next Wednesday. But now I'm going to be driving down to Houston, listening to the match, which starts at 8:30 in the morning, the cricket match. In the car while I'm driving down to Houston, I'll be listening to the cricket match. Then I will have experienced an entire cricket match with everybody in India that's at night and they're all going crazy. It'll be an elimination match. It's going to matter a lot. And then I'll be getting out of the car and walking into a baseball stadium to watch a baseball game for 9 innings. These kinds of experiences are fascinating and exciting to me. They make a kind of constant tumbling in the mind. But again, this is what separates. I'm continually separated by this kind of floating about and moving between things. And I think that one of the parts of the Middleman's Perch is very much related to the piece I wrote called Mysolation, Mysolation, Mysolation. You can look up the video and watch that as well. It is very clear, and I keep trying to stress, this is of my own making. I am not complaining or telling you that somebody has shoved me into a corner. I'm saying that I have developed into this isolated being, and I do not lament it. I am attempting to process it and to explain it and to communicate it. I think that I also believe that if more people achieved this, then we could be communicating in a way that is extra-national, extra-religious, extra-state, outside the position of the state, outside the position of the nation, outside the position of religions. And the things that we would be connecting on would be this separate position altogether. That doesn't mean you can't be a Christian or a Hindu or a Jew or a Muslim. No, you should. Your perch can have anything it wants. But we can create these mechanisms to communicate independent of them and seek similarities rather than differences. And that has been at the root of my modus operandi. I have sought similarities in all these places. I seem similar to me to the Chinese people, even though they're very difficult for me to understand often. Or I seem similar to Indians, even though now I've been so Americanized. Or I seem similar to Americans, even though I feel that they're pretty dumb on the whole. And they've gotten dumber in the time that I've been here. But we have so many similarities, emotions, passions, interests. So the Middleman's Perch number 6, I wanted to talk about the sports thing as a connector. Music, obviously, is another. Dance. I don't know. I'm trying to think of things that connect that I don't participate in as much, and it's harder. So this is an easier way for me to communicate the simplicity of this point. But anyway, on Wednesday, that will be a fascinating day. To experience cricket in the way I have been, usually I'm watching it alone. I don't have any friends here who are watching it with me, so I'm doing that entire thing. And then to flip the switch and to go watch the baseball live with a crowd of people screaming inside the Minute Maid stadium there, the juice box as they call it, I'm expecting to be a very unusual experience. That's the direct result of my process. And I'm really excited for that. And I think I'll be filming during some of that as well. So this is the Middleman's Perch number 6, a sports edition of how the linkages can happen. Oh, that's a 4 right there. That's how you signal a 4.